ESPN's Malika Andrews has become the focus of a lot of NBA fans' ire over the perception that she goes out of her way to criticize black coaches and players. As for how warranted those criticisms are, and how much of it has to do with the fact that she's a woman speaking her mind, that's certainly a discussion worth having. The host of NBA Today is now catching flack for what she's not saying. Chiefly, the fact that she has only briefly addressed the allegations surrounding Oklahoma City Thunder star Josh Giddey. The 21-year-old Giddey has been accused of having an improper relationship with a younger girl following the posting of photos and videos of the two on social media. The NBA started its investigation on November 24th, but Giddey and the Thunder have refused to comment on the situation. Oklahoma City fans have, oddly, cheered for Giddey following the revelation of the allegations. You can make a strong case that the sports media world in general has been undercovering the story. However, many NBA fans have zeroed in on Andrews, comparing it to the times when she has offered up strong commentary about other basketball players and coaches. Andrews has been outspoken about issues outside of basketball on ESPN, such as when she delivered an impassioned speech after the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade. So any thought that she only focuses her words on a very specific topic isn't really true, and is likely the case of selective hearing. Another person who called out the sports reporter over the weekend was former Dallas Cowboys player Dez Bryant. On Monday, November 27th, Bryant made a post on X saying, "You went out of your way to crucify Brandon Miller on draft day over something he didn't even do. Why haven't you said nothing about Josh Giddey? I advise you not to make this a black or white thing. Your parents really raised you wrong. And just because you went to a private school don't make you better. You appeal, and I know you're kind. You just a puppet. I don't know how a former or current NBA player could sit there across from you and look at you with some kind of respect." Miller was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets this year, and during the draft, Andrews reported that Miller was a cooperating witness in the death of 23-year-old Jamia Janae Harris on January 15th in Tuscaloosa. The 21-year-old brought a gun to one of his former University of Alabama basketball teammates at his request. The former teammate Darius Miles told another man, Michael Lynn Davis, where the gun was in the car. And Davis fired, with the woman being hit and killed. Miles and Davis now face charges. Miller never was charged. Harris's mother since has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Miller, Miles, and Davis. Bryant advised Andrews not to make this a black or white thing. And he said her parents hadn't raised her right. He called her a puppet and said he didn't know how current or former NBA players could talk to her. Later that same day, Andrews reported on the Giddey situation, but fans had already picked their sides. Some believe she has gone out of her way to talk bad about black men in the NBA, while others argued that she was just stating the facts and doing her job. Andrews' colleague Stephen A. Smith discussed the situation further during the November 29th episode of his self-titled podcast. Smith, who's had his own problems with Andrews in the past, came to her defense against Bryant's extreme post. He said that going at Andrews the way Bryant did is off-kilter, because as a reporter you must report facts, and nobody knows all the facts in the Giddey situation, because no one is talking. The First Take host also noted that Andrews had to talk about Miller on his draft night, because they had to know how his involvement in the death of a young woman would affect his career in the Bible Belt of Charlotte, North Carolina. Smith said that reporters don't always have choices, as he explained that if Andrews didn't ask the question, her higher-ups would question if she deserved her position. Bryant replied to Smith, saying that he would love to go on his show and provide more context about what he was saying. Next, former ESPN reporter Jamel Hill jumped into the fray, stating that Bryant's tone and approach to Malika was out of line. Hill said, "You made it personal by bringing in how she was raised. You didn't bring any of that energy to any of the male broadcasters. She wasn't on air when the news about Josh Giddey happened, and addressed it when she returned." One critic responded saying, "The issue with women like Malika and Jamel are that they're just black in appearance. They have no connection to or understanding of the black male athletes they cover. Malika was fast-tracked at ESPN because she's a super minority hire in their eyes, being both black and a woman." Hill countered with, "I was today years old when I found out I was only black in appearance. I'm not even mad at the audacity. I'm truly impressed." However, Bryant replied to Hill saying, "Don't do that," adding that he already apologized, but he still stands behind everything he said. He pointed out that ain't sweet, because he will go at a woman the same way he will go at any man. Y'all gotta know by now I don't care for the right reasons, and it's at an all-time high right now. Bryant posted, "I have high respect for you, Jamel. Let's stay reasonable." Bryant didn't apologize about the situation, but he said he wouldn't talk about it anymore, unless Smith or Andrews wanted to do an on-air interview. An attack from someone with Bryant's profile means that ESPN and Andrews will likely have to adjust their commentary style for players who fall into legal issues. Otherwise, this cycle will continue. Is the criticism about a lack of discussion around the allegations warranted? ESPN and other sports media outlets could all be doing a better job highlighting the disturbing story, especially as Giddey plays and receives extra adulation from Oklahoma City fans. Is that entirely Malika Andrews' fault? Certainly not. But in her position, where she chooses to offer up strong opinions, there is invariably going to be backlash and criticism related to who she talks about and who she doesn't, fair or not. Would she be getting so much heated criticism if she were, say, Stephen A. Smith? We probably know the answer to that. After mounting hate over the last few days because of the lack of an ESPN segment dedicated to discussing the Giddey situation, Andrews did a segment where she informed the viewers what was happening. Fans are taking this clip and using it to push hate against her on social media.
That Thunder guard Josh Giddey had an improper relationship with an underage girl. In a since-deleted post, an anonymous social media user claimed a girl who was seen with Giddey in videos and images, some of which include explicit captions, was a junior in high school at the time. Giddey, who is 21, he declined to comment on Friday, and despite the serious allegations, Giddey is yet to miss a game this season. Thunder coach Mark Daigneault, he said he will continue to be in the lineups. A league spokesperson told me this morning that the NBA is still in the process of gathering information, and we will continue to update this story as the news.
The negative backlash against Andrews in particular, and not ESPN in general, is because of comments she made about Brandon Miller during draft day, bringing up his legal troubles over his sole season in the NCAA. She is known to bring up these off-court issues about players on air, which has upset many fans. In the broader context, Andrews enjoys significant stature in sports media. However, this prominence comes with both positive and negative aspects, and currently, the negatives are taking the forefront. She's being held to a distinct standard compared to many other personalities. The question arises, will Andrews address the criticism surrounding the Giddey scandal, or will she choose to overlook it? She appears to be caught in a no-win situation, whether she comments or stays silent. Criticism awaits, a challenging predicament she finds herself in. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. What do you think about this? Is Malika Andrews wrong for not reporting the situation? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing NBA content. And hit that notifications button to stay up to date with the most recent NBA news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.